Welcome to the Verdin Sports Show. I'm your host, Jacob Verdin, joined by my guy, Andre Champagne.
What's going on, man?
KLSU Sports Director, The Last Dance.
Happy New Year.
How are you feeling? This was your last opportunity to cover as a student journalist. What did it feel like? What was your run like? And just, come on, tell me the Dre Day recap.
It was bittersweet, honestly. I started off, I think, working here actually in this building for the Texas Bowl in freshman year, I believe. So that was cool to kind of end it here. But I'm excited for the future, and KLSU is a great chance for students to build their resume up for sports media, and obviously met you through here, so I'm very glad that we crossed paths.
Me too, man. And building off your point about the future, you got to see a lot of pieces that you're going to be seeing next year. Trudez Green, Caden Durham, obviously some new mixes in the offensive line. My initial takeaway, I was a little bit surprised. 75 total points. I wasn't expecting it. Vegas wasn't expecting LSU to have as quick of a start as they did. And then obviously, there's a tragic injury with Whit Weeks. Prayers up to him, obviously, first and foremost. I believe the word on the street as of now, not confirmed, just speculation, is a dislocated ankle, which would potentially have him back for spring ball, maybe fall
midway
camp.
Through spring ball, probably.
So that's going to be a big positive news for LSU fans, because, quite frankly, everybody, myself included, their hearts sunk when you saw that. You saw the reaction of the team. You saw the reaction from Garrett Nussmeier, and then honestly West and his parents themselves. It was a real concerning moment, and I'm real glad and grateful that it's going to be able to kind of be a speedy recovery, not a knee, not a broken leg, not anything. Because at first it was worrisome, but that's a big piece next year. We're talking about the future. I mean, it all, quite frankly, is almost lying on his shoulders. That's one of your biggest pieces, him and Harold Perkins.
And then you look at the second half, without him, the defense really, they kind of let up. And it shows that LSU, defensively, he's your lifeline, right? And you have to make sure that he's on the field for you, at all times. And so, it was hard watching him, just in pain and all that. And we just heard West, right? And he was talking about it. And watching one of your guys go down, that's never easy, right? And so I'm really just surprised to how LSU responded right after that.
I agree, and I want to do a quick little breakdown of the rotations you saw in the DB group. Shout out G Sports. He said Michael Turner's going to get an opportunity, and he did. And I honestly was a little bit impressed. That's a name that you're going to have to remember for this DB room. Obviously, P.J. Woodland got some action. Ashton Stamps, and DJ Pickett's on the sideline licking his chops, getting ready. I'm excited for that debut as well. At your safety spot, you saw Toviano, Deshaun Spears. We could be seeing a new addition here shortly, folks. Stay tuned. I think LSU's locked and loaded in this portal. I mean, we were talking to Jordan Arsenal, and they were saying the portal's jumping, baby, and LSU's in a spot where, quite frankly, they're turning over a new leaf. Everybody has a completely different morale over these last 2-3 weeks. I mean, look, if you asked an LSU fan how you feeling a month ago, it was a lot more grim. It was a lot more bare bones. It was a lot of what ifs.
Conversations between us.
You're optimistic.
We were. After, LSU, when they lost Bryce Underwood, they just gave up.
Everybody's heart just fell to the ground.
I feel like I fell victim to that too, because, you lose all those you lose that, caliber of a recruit. You lose a lot of the fan base when that happens. And that's never easy for a coach, but also as a program, when the kids see that in-house, it's hard to not be upset about that. So, but you look at it now, like you said, it's a complete 180. These guys have completely turned it around. And kudos to Brian Kelly, because he's proven a lot of people wrong.
And the whole staff. Look, one of the biggest things I've taken away from this Bryce Underwood transition is that it held a lot of people in LSU's booster staff, that Tiger Athletic Foundation, just the overall community. They got held accountable. They're like, oh my God, we got to wake up and do something. We got to actually put some resources into the school, because the brand's not just going to carry you in this age of college football. You're going to have some things that, attract some kids over here. Whether you like it or not, it is the Wild West, and you got to go guns blazing and go dueling with some of the top schools if you want to stay at the top. And I feel like they're kind of starting to do that. Today was a very, very good, visual of what the focus will be next season. Nussmeier even said it himself. Coach Kelly said the season starts now. I know it's a bowl game. I know New Year's is tomorrow in a few hours. But 2025, the whole vibe, the whole overall team morale, I think, it was in check today. If you had a loss, the whole entire offseason, it's burning your ass.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You're, as far as that, you're thinking about the loss, but you're also thinking about the 0-3 start that Brian Kelly's had with, starting games, right? So now you see how he's been ending the season, very positive note. And now you see, hey, Brian Kelly has kind of established that culture that he wanted to since day one. And you look at all the other SEC teams right now, and not every SEC team is winning their bowl games, right? You know, they thought it was going to be a given. Alabama, South Carolina. I mean, a lot of these teams that they figured they should be in the playoff.
Yep.
I mean, LSU, you know, they put their head down even with all the opt-outs, and they went to work. They didn't make excuses for themselves. And you love to see that.
Next man up, exactly. I'm going to highlight a couple of key players real quick. Obviously, Garrett Nussmeier, 300-plus yards, 3 touchdowns. Again, shout out to Nuss Bus. You've seen it going around social media. There's an apology for him. I might even pop it up on the screen. Y'all might have to sign that. Y'all might have to submit that to Nuss Bus because he showed out today. Of course, he had 1 interception, but hey, you can't harp on the one negative. You've got to look at the positive. You got to look at the growth. And then we want to talk about LSU quarterbacks in year 2. Something might be brewing here shortly. Then let's talk about Caden Durham, 60 yards. Josh Williams, obviously, you know, we're going to miss him. But I think the overall outlook of this running back room, I mean, Harlem Berry's sitting here on the sideline getting, you know, visual reps. Obviously, JT Lindsey's coming in. Troy Holly could potentially be a big mix. Caleb Jackson's still in this room. I mean, Frank Wilson's a dog. I think that they're going to be fine in this running back area. Offensive line might be a little worrisome, but I want to end this off with 2 names. I'll do 3 out of this receiving core that need flowers, straight up. Everybody wants to say, oh, we lost Malik, we lost BT, we lost this, we lost that. What did you keep? What do you have? Aaron Anderson, Trudez Green, Chris Hilton Jr. I walked up to Chris after the game, and all I could say was him. 7 targets, 4 catches, 113 yards, a touchdown. Longest reception was 40+. I mean, the damn ball hung in the air for 5 seconds. Aaron Anderson got 8 catches, 90 yards. Trudez Green, 2 touchdowns. That's a red zone monster. You can't even call him a tight end anymore. I mean, he's got the tight end build, but he runs like a damn wide receiver. They put him in the slot.
That's what I'm saying. He's a 6'7" guy, and he moves around like he's 6'4". I mean, I'd probably be a little remiss if I compare him to Kyle Pitts right now, but the physical ability that he has, I mean, you have to say this is a guy that he's not a glorified wide receiver because he can block too.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, Kyle Pitts was able to do that as well, but I mean, if he can continue that same production, I'm not saying 2 touchdowns a night, but just be as heavily involved as he was, I mean, it's going to be so hard stopping that LSU offense in 2025.
I agree. It's going to be an interesting thing to keep looking forward to. I'm going to drop Andre's socials in the description. Give my guy a follow. But real quick before we hop out of here, shout out Happy Dad. You know the drill. Best taste of hard seltzer. Supporting the guys.
Get one in midfield and get one on Texas benches. So
all right. Say hey to the camera. Say hey to the camera. We got it's all good. Security guard walking in saying what's up. But shout out Happy Dad for the support. Rolling into 2025. Hey, we might crack a couple open tonight for New Year's Day.
It's a new year.
Might have to sell hit a little shotgun for Whit Weeks. Prayers up for my guy, Big 40. Hope it works out. Some good news right now. Hopefully it keeps adding up. Appreciate your time, dog. Last dance.
Thanks for having me, man.
Have the fans, one more message. What do you want to leave everybody with? What did Dre feel the most today?
I felt optimistic about this team for sure. Just seeing how much production that's coming back, and then you look at all the transfer portal ads, really, and you see, you're like, oh my goodness, how are all of those receivers going to find a way to make it on the field? And if you're Nussmeier, you've got to be like licking your lips, like
Literally.
you said, just because it's going to be dangerous with all the weapons he has. If LSU can somehow, piece things together on that offensive line, losing so much production, that's going to hurt for sure. But as long as they're able to really just, I guess, build off of, like you said, today, seeing, the things they needed to fix, they're going to be dangerous because, we're returning more to the DBU, with all the talent. You finally have, I would say this is probably going to be Brian Kelly's most talented defensive back room since being here, and that's big. You really, like you said, you had to deal with what you had to deal with until now, so it's really exciting.
Now you've got the bodies, and then building off that transfer portal point, folks. We ain't done yet. I'll leave you with that. This has been the Verdin Verdict. Hit a like button on your way out. Drop a comment. Any questions, concerns, we'll get to them on Monday. Once again, hit my guy Andre with a follow. I'll put my links in there as well. You know where to get me. Y'all have a good one. Happy New Year. We got a W to start it off. We're undefeated.